right, man. So, y'all remember the video that I said that, I made a video about this and I said, Kendrick Lamar is going to be breaking his own record every single stadium. So, Kendrick Lamar, what broke Eminem's record, grossing $9 million, right? So, he demolished that. He absolutely demolished that. Now, since he went to Dallas, it's up to 11 million. he's going to be breaking his own record, I think. So the previous one was Eminem at 9 million, and Kendrick broke that. And now Kendrick, he's just going to be breaking his own records like everywhere he goes. So this was in Dallas. And I'm sure Atlanta might be higher than this. And when he goes to the next, every single spot that he's like, he's just going to be breaking his own records, especially when he go to the Mets in Jersey. This is insane. This is insane. So Kendrick, he just keep on breaking his own records. And that being said, I want to play this clip right here. It says how Drake just tried to sabotage Kendrick Lamar's tour and failed so bad. So let's see what we got right here. But it's just insane. Kendrick is just going to be just outdoing himself at this point.
Academics and all of the losers who call... Now, when it comes to Drake, academics, and all of the losers who call themselves OVO, this Kendrick Lamar tour has really done things to this entire group of people that I don't think they are ever going to recover from, because now with Kendrick sweeping through these stadiums and just winning like we have never seen an MC win before, this group of people are so fried that when it comes to Kendrick Lamar's Toronto shows, which will be happening on this Grand National Tour, Drake and the people who back him are talking about doing something so awful to get the show canceled that it doesn't just take things way further than rap ever should, but with Drake and the spokespeople for OVO platforming and approving this awful message. Really, when it comes time to prove that Drake is not just lying in this lawsuit, but he is an absolute hypocrite.
Yo, that I can't wait to see what happens in when Kendrick goes to Canada. Man, that's going to be insane.
Sentiments that they are saying about Kendrick Lamar right now are just going to take not just Drake down, but every single one of them. And now, before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now, as what we are about to talk about in terms of what Drake just did is so awful, and yet these same OVO people are hiding behind the biggest victim card we have ever seen, when in actuality, according to their own plans, they want to do some of the worst things you possibly could. Really be sure to leave that like so everyone can see how terrible the biggest hypocrites we have ever seen in hip-hop really are. And so now, with that said, when it comes to Drake and the rest of this clown show, right now Drake is realizing something that he doesn't like more than anything else. And it's not that his career is over or that he lost all of his credibility as a rapper at this point, but it's that on Kendrick Lamar's stadium tour, which is undeniably successful, because let's face it, no matter what weird things they want to twist and say, no rapper, including Drake, has ever even been in buildings like these. With what is going to be one of the most legendary runs of shows that we've ever seen when we look back at it, Kendrick Lamar is going to have not one but two nights where he is going to be performing in Drake's home city of Toronto. And with this coming up soon, and just with everyone realizing how high the stakes are of this, because again, even in Drake's home city, he has never performed.
Yo, I can't wait until that, boy. That's everybody is going to be covering that. Everybody's going to be covering that
at the Rogers Center and has only ever done the arena in his city. I mean, for Drake, this looks really bad and awful for him because he is really even losing now in his home. And of course, now as Not Like Us is going to be played and heard throughout his entire city, not once but twice, none of OVO likes this idea. And now what the clear play that they are trying to do now is to straight up just get the show canceled. And now while earlier after the beef, we saw that Drake was able to get Schoolboy Q's show in Toronto canceled, it was a lot different because that was a smaller venue that Q was at, and Drake was also a partial owner of it. So of course he definitely had a say there because again, he was actually one of the people who made the decisions. But now while there, Drake had the leverage to get Q and his team to come all the way up to Toronto, and then he told them that they could not play right before the show started. This is not going to be the case here, and Drake is not going to be able to whine and contact anybody in terms of people on the venue side that will be able to stop this type of production from happening, especially when you see the type of returns that these shows are pulling in, which just shows how important of a moment this is, which really, making things even crazier, these shows that Kendrick is going to have in Drake's hometown are going to end up joining the list of some of the highest grossing hip-hop shows ever, just like the rest of the tour. And so now with all of this being inevitable, well, Drake only has a few options left, and he is about to get low. And now as in the past when Pusha T came to Toronto and was touring for Daytona after his beef with Drake, and within that show, a bunch of people that Drake had go to the venue just threw a ton of stuff over him and ruined a part of the show before Push came back out and kept rapping live better than Drake ever has. I mean, with something like that, we know it's not under Drake to try and set up an event to ruin the performance and take away a historic moment from Kendrick Lamar, but now beyond having some fans go in a show and yell at the artist and throw some things on stage like we saw there with Push, what we have found out is that with Drake, OVO, and his guys, they are trying to do something that is way more off-putting here. And now whether they are serious about what they are saying they want to do, or they are just trying to create attention and get the show canceled off of the merit of their words, either way, the territory that Drake and his crew have just entered is some of the weirdest and most off-putting stuff that I have ever heard. Because especially now that Drake is trying to whine and act like the victim in his suit over Not Like Us one day, and then he is buddy-buddy with people who are working to get this show canceled by doing some of the most awful and disgusting things you could imagine. It's all just baffling and shows that we have given the wrong guy a pass in hip-hop for way too long, because none of this embodies what rap music is supposed to be about. And now with this, what I am referring to is the plan and narrative that OVO is working on to get out to try and create this distraction that will end Kendrick Lamar shows in Toronto from happening. And it all comes from an interaction between two of the most annoying people you could ever think of, with DJ Academics, and even more annoying than that, and that is of course saying a lot. The person who has made their whole career around being Drake's guy who just intimidates anybody that he has a problem with in none other than Top 5. And now with the biggest clout chaser and loser that's affiliated with all of OVO.
Okay, yeah, so I can already see where he's going with this, because y'all remember when that old video clip when Top 5 was like, you know, Kendrick cannot come to LA. He's banned, right? So yeah, I can already see where he's going to go with this, because you know, Top 5 damn near threatened Kendrick Lamar's life. You know, trying to make it seem like, oh, if he come to Canada, something gonna happen, right? So yeah, I can already see where he going with this.
Which again, being able to say a statement like that about somebody is saying so much about how terrible the guy is. Once again, what this guy is doing is talking crazy and clout chasing like we have never seen, and now as recently Academics was streaming, Top 5 was speaking to him live for everyone to hear, and when talking about Kendrick Lamar and his tour, and specifically the Toronto shows, after a lot of rambling and other ridiculous comments that were just straight up lies, because nobody once thinks that Top 5 was asked by Top Dog Entertainment and PG Lang to open up for Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I don't even know why he tried to get that narrative across. Top 5 said that Kendrick Lamar should be coming to the show with as many people who are looking out for him as possible, because he's going to try and do something that's so bad. Well, that I can't even say it out front here, but I am pretty sure you can put together what I am hinting at, or you have just seen it, and now considering Top 5's past and the guy who he asserts himself and tries to be, I mean, you can't ever take something like this as a complete joke and think that whatever him and other losers out there are not going to try and do what they believe will help out Drake and their hip-hop scene by defending it from Kendrick Lamar and Not Like Us, I guess. But just with this is another one of the moments where we have to ask, what are we doing and what's the point? Because seriously, at the end of the day, you are trying to push something so much further than rap music and bring a beef where two guys just traded musical disses to the absolute worst place you can. And with this, trying to put these sentiments around rap and bring it to something that should be a celebration for the genre and a victory for the winner in something, no matter how you want to put it and no matter who you rooted for. Ultimately, what has been put out there is the worst thing you can do and represents the ideas and sentiments that will be responsible for the downfall of hip-hop, and in the past has always represented that. And I mean, what's so baffling about this entire situation, once again, just shows the type of people that Drake and OVO are. That again, Academics put these comments on his platform and really didn't seem to have a problem with them and didn't try to push back on what Top was saying. And again, as Top is not just a random guy, but he is friends with Drake and looks out for him all the way to the point that Drake literally got him out of the situation he was in to get him back doing things for him and OVO in the first place. I mean, this is really some disgusting and disturbing stuff and shows how once again when things go—
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go live. I just haven't had the opportunity. I'm gonna probably go live maybe Saturday to go over Academics live streams. So I know exactly what he's talking about. So we all gonna hear what exactly Top 5 and Academics was talking about in this moment.
Go too far and things get to this weird place where they lean way further into anything that hip-hop ever should. It's never Kendrick Lamar and the people that he rolls with who create problems, but it's Drake and the guys that he is always around. And so now going forward from this situation, I think no matter how you want to put it, considering what this Top 5 loser tries to be and how he is doing anything to help Drake, I really think that what they are trying to pull here is a play to make Kendrick Lamar shows get canceled and have people not want to go and be there. And even just in that regard, if you are not serious and that's just the point, still, this is not normal behavior. And if you really think that this is okay and that this will prevent you from humiliating your rap legacy and Crew's names in the case of Drake and OVO, I mean, somehow by doing this and trying to create this distraction, you've managed to do something that's even worse than having Not Like Us play in your city multiple times, because really, to just escalate a thing that was supposed to be about music and competition in hip-hop to this level and put these sentiments and ideas about what you were saying will go down if Kendrick comes there, I don't know how else to say this, but it's disgusting, nasty, and shameful, and nothing actually in hip-hop culture wants any part of this. And again, as this all happened on the most popular personality in hip-hop media arguably's platform, and again, nobody talked about it, and there was not any coverage from any hip-hop media outlets. This just shows you first off who is still controlling the narratives being pushed out and who they are trying to portray as the victim, which is Drake. And with Top 5 saying this, and again, without them putting it out there, it almost seemed like they only wanted the right people to hear this so that it didn't come back to Drake and OVO, and that again, it only silently canceled or ruined Kendrick Lamar's show, but that Drake was not being exposed for the potential awful things that are going on within his label and crew. But of course, these guys have just made another awful mistake, and that is not the case, and they have been exposed. And now what we are seeing is that despite how low Drake and everybody around him are willing to go to just have Kendrick Lamar lose, we are really finding out how scared these guys all are of Kendrick and how much they despise him. But I'm sure no matter what, whatever Drake and the losers around him try and do, Kendrick and everyone a part of this tour knew what they were getting into with these two shows, and they made sure that it will run just as great as the rest of the tour has. And so I have to say, for Drake, Top 5, and and the losers who are so obsessed with being called OVO. But what you did is show that you are the worst group of people who will say and do anything in hip-hop because you don't like somebody over a beef. And with this, you have been exposed, and I am sure when everything Drake has done will be pulled apart on the table because of his own suit, putting things out there with people affiliated with OVO like this will not look good. And at the same time as doing all of this, which is only creating more problems for them. What it didn't do is ruin Kendrick Lamar's show, because with where he is at and on the scale we are seeing, no matter what distractions you make, nobody is stopping the greatness that is on display when Kendrick Lamar takes that stage. And so now with all
So yeah, man, I'm probably gonna go live tomorrow, Saturday, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to go live, but I just haven't had the time to go live. But I'm gonna definitely go live over this weekend, if not Saturday, Sunday. But because academics went live and said a whole bunch of stupid stuff that I need to cover. So yeah, man, y'all leave a comment down below, man. Yo, I can't wait until Kendrick goes to Toronto and LA. Those are the two places that everybody's looking forward to. Everybody's gonna cover that. And yeah, this is not surprising that top 5 goofy threatening Kendrick Lamar. If he come to Canada, something gonna happen. Like it's the dumbest thing ever. And if you Drake, why would you even allow that dumb ass nigga to say that? Because it's gonna fall back on you. That's your homeboy. He has came on live stream saying I'm Drake's top shooter. Like Drake he's an idiot, bro. But anyway, y'all leave a comment down below. All right, it's your boy DMD signing out.